Am I live right now? It says live on the top of the screen, so I'm going to assume that I am. Um, my topic for this video is the power of prayer. And I'm going to tell you exactly what happened today that makes me feel so blessed. Um, uh, sorry. So, this morning I woke up and my two daughters and I got to sleep in really late, and we had a really relaxing morning. And when we were getting ready, I just took a moment to pray to God and ask Him for strength and guidance with everything that had been going on over the past week or two between my husband's semis and him getting stranded and now him not being home, and between all the fraud and identity theft and everything. I just felt like I needed to call out to him, more than just right before bed. And I said, please just keep my family safe. Please just guide me through the day and through the upcoming week. And just protect my two beautiful daughters. And we went on with our day after that. We got dressed and had breakfast and all of that fun stuff. And I went to town to pick up some t-shirts that I'm going to be designing for someone. And the girls were just so good all morning. They've been so good lately. And they're my whole world. So we stopped at the Family Dollar, and I was going to get them each a treat. 'Cause they deserved it. I mean, kids deserve a treat once in a while, right? And when we were in the checkout aisle, all that I was getting was like a loaf of bread, and I was getting my husband and I some deodorant, and the girls were picking out a treat. They weren't in the cart. They were walking around, and of course Ava is very sociable. So she's going and saying hi to all the kids waiting in line behind us. There's only one checkout lane open. And I didn't think that at that time anything bad was going to happen. We go into that store all the time. The cashier knows us really well, knows Ava really well. And I was putting the stuff on the counter to check out. And the lady that was in front of me that was getting done checking out was loading up all these quilts and stuff that she had bought. And I looked away from the girls for not even a minute. And all of a sudden I heard a crack on the floor, and I heard Emma yelp out of nowhere. And the bystander that was in line ahead of me picked her up. And after that yelp, she just stopped breathing. Emma just stopped breathing. She stopped breathing. She wasn't making any noise. And I thought it was just like like one of those cries that she was like holding in. Like kids will do that. They'll hold it in and then they'll let out a huge, you know what I'm saying? Well, she didn't. She didn't breathe. And the cashier tried getting her to be alert, and so she was like, she blew in her face a little bit. And she still didn't breathe. And she was turning purple. And the bystander, I didn't know this at the time, but she was a former EMT. And she took Emma and lied her down on the counter. Lied her down on the counter, and Emma was gone. It's almost like she died right there. She was gone. And she wasn't breathing. She was unconscious, and the bystander said call 911, and Ava's standing next to me on the floor, right? And they laid her down on the counter, and after she had not been breathing and was unconscious for probably 30 to 40 seconds, the bystander started doing CPR on her, and she was gone. She was gone. After she had turned completely black and blue and purple, she turned beet white, and it's almost like she had died at that moment. And when they were doing CPR on her, I'm trying not to like pass out, right? I'm trying to keep Ava calm and let her know that everything was okay. And finally, the cashier started to check for a pulse and just couldn't find one. And the lady kept doing CPR on her, and I finally went up and I grabbed Emma by the hand, and I cried. I cried. I cried loud too. I bet you all the way over to Cashwise everyone could hear me. And then after probably 50 seconds to a minute of CPR, Emma came to, and she was conscious again as she let in a deep breath. I don't know if it was a little seizure or what, but as soon as she took in a deep breath, the ambulance was there, and they put her on like one of those straight boards, and wrapped up her neck and put monitors all over her and everything. And that lady that picked her up and was doing CPR on her, she was my angel. She was my angel. My daughter had somehow fallen and hit her head and had a little seizure, and she could have died right there. And when they're loading her up into the ambulance, that same lady, that stranger that I did not know, she did not know me, that same lady that brought my daughter back to life, she took Ava and kept her calm and made sure that whoever I was able to get to pick her up was home safe. Picked her up safely to get her home. And I rode with Emma to the emergency room in the ambulance, and she didn't cry or anything, but she was alert, and they finally found a pulse in her. And then when we got to the emergency room, they took her out of the ambulance, and we went inside, and she was gone again. I watched her eyes roll back into her head, and she turned beet white, and she stopped breathing. They didn't lose a heartbeat, but something happened where she became unconscious again. I don't know what happened, but all of the doctors there took such good care of us. And I prayed this morning that everyone in my family would stay safe and that we would be watched over and I would have strength for whatever was coming up. And my prayer was answered. My little girl, what the bystander said was that after, when she was picking out a piece of candy, she was climbing up onto the cart, like you know how they have a bottom rack that you could put like cases of water and stuff on? She had climbed up onto that, and Ava called for her, and when she whipped her head around, she slipped. She was in rain boots, and it was raining today. Raining, sleeting. She slipped as she turned around and slammed forward, face first, and face planted on the concrete. And that bystander was my angel. She answered my prayer. She saved my little girl. I could have lost her. I watched her almost die. And that lady saved her, and I wish I knew who she was. Because I just want to hold her and thank her for saving my little girl. And to make things even better, Emma didn't have any skull fractures. Nothing is wrong with her neck from the fall, and nothing is wrong with her chest from the CPR. And now all that I know is that I believe in prayer. I believe in prayer. I prayed to be watched over, and this stranger out of nowhere, this stranger was sent to us to save us. And I can't thank Jesus enough, and I can't thank that angel enough. I'm so thankful that I watched my baby die, and I watched her come back to life again. And I believe in prayer. I believe in prayer.